How often have you heard or thought, I'm bored? We spend time on the same activities hour after hour, see the exact locations day after day, and attend the same events year after year. It can get quite repetitive. But what if we could take that sameness and change everything with nothing more than a perspective shift? Let's talk to some people who help us do just that today on Hometown. Adventure has always seemed like something you go somewhere to experience, but maybe that isn't quite right. French novelist Marcel Proust said it best: the real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. It's the artist who suddenly begins to see in light and shadow, the entrepreneur fighting the same old problem and then decides to make finding a solution the mission. An old story that stops you short one day and insists you tell it in a new, relevant way. Each of these moments is a result of seeing with fresh eyes. Today we meet two people who found new vistas here at home, who contribute to our community by connecting with people and seeing our story from a fresh perspective. Let's explore discovery, an essential ingredient in the remarkable story of us.
Shawna Wright, what a privilege to be here in your studio, here in your home, overlooking your beautiful cherry orchard.
I'm glad you're here.
Well, thank you for being here on Hometown. And Shawna, many people in our area are aware of your art, and many people might be getting to know you for the first time. So, Shawna, many people know that they're an artist because they have started early in life. Did you know that you were an artist?
Absolutely not. I mean, I kind of dabbled with it when I was little, and then my sister was really good and just quit. And then, so 8 years ago or so, my father was sick, and he was injured, and he was really depressed. And I felt that I had this really overpowering, that I needed to do something to encourage him. And I was praying, and at about the same time, Bible journaling became a big thing. And I wanted to do Bible journaling so bad. And at the time, I had been reading my NLT Bible. And to purchase an NLT Bible with wide margin was like $500. It was out of print.
The New Living Translation.
Yes,
and you wanted to color and do all of that.
Yes, and I wanted to do that so bad. And I couldn't, there's no way I was going to buy a $500 Bible. So I remember just crying and praying about it, and I went to town and I got just a plain journal, and I said, okay, I can do this in a plain journal right beside my Bible. And before I even got home, I realized that that journal was for my dad. It wasn't for me. And God was telling me to do that. So every day for, I think it was a year, I don't know how many journals I filled, I would put a Bible promise in it, scan it, and send it to my dad every day. And I would sometimes use different color of writing, and just very, very simple. And in fact, over time, I developed I guess you'd call my own font.
Yes, it's very distinctively yours.
And my handwriting changed, and it became something just from doing that every day. And then Dad's birthday was in November, and I wanted to do something special, so I had some child's paint, probably Crayola or something like that, and I painted a bird with a Bible promise on it. And Dad and I both looked at that, and he goes, "There's something special about that." He says, "I'm going to frame it." I don't think he did, but I know he has it special. And then I got this. I never do anything small, and I got this idea. Okay, I did that. Why don't I do 12 and for Christmas and do them a calendar for Christmas? Well, if you think about it now, I start over a year in advance to do my calendars.
For the next calendar year,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I'm already working, like right here. This is painting number 6, I think, for the new calendar. And I'm running late. And anyhow, so this was November.
Time's ticking. January 1's coming.
So I did 12. Well, I actually did the next one and it flopped badly. And then I got up and I did it again. And you know, for probably a whole year, I had to, every time I picked up my brush over and over again, I'd have to say, don't worry about what anybody thinks. Don't worry. This is your art. Doesn't matter what anybody thinks. It can be whatever you want. Anyhow, I'm a bit of a blubberer. And I was on social media and talking about what I was doing and on the Bible journaling sites. And, well, we ended up doing 94 calendars the first year.
94 calendars.
Yes.
And this all started because you got the idea of doing something simple,
Yes.
of encouraging your dad through something, a card and a journal. And here it has transformed into
And a
this.
side story of that, because there's actually two stories. I didn't know at the time that they were coming together. But
Oftentimes we don't.
I was praying for my dad, yes, but I also was praying for ministry. And our youngest daughter, I had homeschooled her, and it was just getting near the end there. And my husband was doing prison ministries, and you know, I wanted something. So I was really praying about that. So, and then it didn't just happen, but it just went together.
And look what we said.
it
Look how
hasn't
God
stopped.
blessed you.
Hasn't
And
stopped.
so back to the question, your dad, he's better.
Well, he is, as far as he's going. He has a very painful pain disease.
I'm sorry.
But continue to encourage.
Yes.
But God's promises get him through.
Absolutely. And we can certainly tell from that. So here we are. You've given us a little history of how this all started.
Yes.
And now you're online. You have an online presence, Shawna
Yes.
Wright Art.
Yes.
.com.
Yeah.
And here we are. Some of these are all originals.
Yes. in front
And
of
you started out with doing the birds.
Yes. Yeah, it was birds.
It's the birds, and you've continued to stay with birds.
Yeah, and I've done a few commission paintings of cats and dogs and children and whatever, but birds is what I do for my yearly calendar and my cards and things.
And this is one of my favorite verses. About how long does it take you to do a piece?
It takes probably more time trying to figure out what I want to do and sketching, and I have to look a little at something. I can't just get it out of my head. So I'm and copyright. You can't just take a painting.
Be careful with
and,
that. Correct.
So I'm taking multiple photos and whatever. So, the 6 to 10 hours of the actual painting.
Sure,
probably.
absolutely. And you mentioned the font and your handwriting. So what is the medium that you use, Shawna?
It's watercolor, professional watercolor.
And then what do you use here then?
And then I use an archival pen.
So how does the process start? So do you come up with the Bible verse first, and then you have the picture to go along with it? Or do you start with the picture and then the Bible verse the Lord impresses upon you?
Generally it's the picture.
The picture first, okay. And then you've spent so much time with it, and then...
And then I try to, each year I do at least 12 paintings because of the yearly calendar. And I try to make a theme, like this year is on like anxiety and comfort and anxiety. So, and tropical birds, you know, one was all rustic and another one was flowers and birds. And so this year is tropical and anxiety.
And beaming of encouragement to
Yes,
so many people.
yes, yeah.
Well, and then you've also, this is another one. This is how I first learned about you, Shawna.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell the viewers of Hometown about this?
Well, there was a lady who came to me and said, I want a little card, a tag that I can put on my blankets, because she crocheted blankets for cancer patients, for children. And at the time, there was Juliana. And so...
Juliana Saylor, a young girl here in our valley.
who, I'm trying to remember, I believe she had passed away at that time when I painted this. So her team colors are in here, and pediatric cancer, the gold, you know, because and So it's all very much symbolized, the gray and the turquoise, the gold, and everything in there is all with pediatric cancer. So it was dedicated to her, and that was, the original was given to her parents, and then now any tags or prints or anything that is done of that all goes to her foundation.
Oh, that's and what a promise of Joshua 1:9. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Yeah. No, I think it's fantastic. So let's go back to, you have all sorts of the originals, but then you have spun off. You mentioned the calendar, and what are some of the other things here that you have?
Oh, I got several bookmarks.
Bookmarks.
Yeah, and fridge magnets.
Yes, I love those.
And then these are little sharing cards. I have about 6 different ones of those. And on the back of this one says, Jesus, the creator of all things, loves and cares for you. And so these ones, I particularly try to keep the price down so people can get them out and use them in ministry. And I sell them in packs of 25. So to just, you go to the grocery store and the cashier, or leave it with a tip at the restaurant, or you paid your hydro bill or your electric bill, stick it in there, that kind of thing.
So these are some other little booklets that you have. Tell us about those.
Well, this is the newest one. I actually have 3 little books. There's one praying for your son and one praying for your daughter. And this is the newest one. You heard me crying in my grief. And it's all in memory for somebody who has passed away. So right at the beginning, the book is dedicated into the memory of, you put the person's name, and then I have inscribed, and you put their name on the palms of my hand. And then it goes through grief, and that Jesus wept, and that he cares about the emotions.
Yeah, the emotions.
And then it goes from sorrow and praise all the way to the resurrection. It goes through the whole thing.
Beautiful. All filled with your beautiful art.
Yeah, so every page is a painting, and then extra promises along beside.
So someone's watching and they're thinking, oh, well, Shawna's got this wonderful gift and I don't have that wonderful talent and I haven't found that yet. What are some things that you can encourage somebody to start as we look at things in our world? Sometimes we're so big and everything, but they're the simple things, right?
Exactly. And, I've had some people say, well, maybe I'll just pray that God will teach me how to paint, but maybe painting is what God wants you to do. I didn't know it was what he wants you to do. What he has promised to do is to give you a talent to do. And it may be cleaning, it may be anything. It's nothing, but God has a plan for you.
Well, and the simple things of seeing a bird as we look out here on your beautiful orchard, and we're here in your beautiful studio surrounded by all your beautiful art, it is the stopping at the simple things. So Shawna, you have a blank watercolor parchment here, and we're going to move these over here and all these beautiful things because we certainly don't want to get anything on them. But why don't you share a little bit with us as you are looking at your beautiful palette here, and you mentioned that you look at something, so you do have a picture here.
I do, and I sketch it out.
You sketch it out. So here are orange-breasted fruit eaters. Okay. So why don't you share with us how you've sketched it out a little bit here, and why don't you start and show us where you go? Because
I was never taught, I call myself God taught. I break every watercolor rule.
I'm not telling anybody because I don't know any.
So if a watercolor person is watching right now, they're going, what the is she doing? So generally they take a little bit of paint and mix it with water and make it milky, and then, but I paint right off.
Okay, let's go
which
for it.
helps keep them bright, I think.
Well, I'm not going to tell Van Gogh or Renoir or Matisse or Cezanne or anybody.
Where's my granddaughter was in my paintbrushes. I don't know which one is.
So regular paintbrushes, do you use specific
I have
water?
special.
Okay.
Water.
So someone listening, what would you say to encourage them about starting something new? I mean,
the biggest thing, and I think it's the biggest thing that holds people back is worrying about what somebody else will think. And, you know, like I said, I don't do I don't paint the way other people paint, but that's okay. But worrying about that's the most crippling thing there is.
Because you don't start.
Yeah.
You don't start.
You don't.
Has this become a job to you, or are you still enjoying this? Back to when you were doing the gift for your dad when he was...
I'm still enjoying it, but yes, sometimes it does become more of a job. But then you have to back up. And what are you doing? You know.
Well, Shawna, thank you so much for having us be here in your studio, and thank you for encouraging people and to look outside and see the simple things.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Liz, it's so great to be chatting with you today. You're wearing a shirt that says Spring Fling 2024, and it's quite a tradition, Spring Fling, here in our community around the beginning of May, Mother's Day time.
Correct.
How did you get involved?
Well, when another event stopped having the things that I do at Spring Fling, that's when I started. And that was 10 years ago. And I have over 110 vendors, which many of those are handcrafted. So it means they do not have any resale items in their booth. They made everything. And then resale, of course, and then food. Lots of
Yes,
food.
so it's an opportunity for the community to really come together and enjoy a lot of handcrafted items.
Right.
And food, and just a good time together.
And free entertainment. We have stage entertainment, which are all local. So it could be vocalists, it could be the kids tumbling, cheerleader, dancing. We have an Italian group, we have two Spanish groups. So we have a little bit of everything.
These kind of events are so fun for our community. And I know it's a special weekend, usually Mother's Day weekend. We have several interesting things happening here in our area. It's a good time to come to town and enjoy it, or get out of your house and participate.
Yes, please, come.
So what are some of your favorite things that happen at Spring Fling?
Well, when you work with vendors for so long, it's a homecoming.
Yes.
So I look forward to Jim coming in with his ice cream gazebo, coming all the way from the Seattle area, pulls in, and I know he's jumping out of that truck and coming to give me a big hug. It's been a year. I really look forward to that. I love the friendships that I've made in all the years that I've been doing this.
Yes, and you have something new this year. You're holding a flyer for it.
We are so excited
That looks awesome.
about this. And what this is it is a hot air balloon, but it's tethered. So it's not going to go anywhere higher than 300 feet, which I think is pretty cool anyway. But we specifically got this sponsored by T-Post Tavern and Thiessen Ranch. They are the ones that are giving us the ability to invite the Dreamcatcher balloon, Captain Crystal, who is actually a former queen, like a beauty queen.
Yes.
And now she's a pilot, travels all over doing this. She heard about how we wanted to do this for veterans. Veterans are really special to
Yes.
me. We have always done a small tribute for them on Sunday, and I've been looking for something else to do. And so we are doing this. All veterans who come on Saturday and Sunday, 10 to 2, will get a free tethered ride. And what's different about this?
What you just said there is amazing, because to go up in a hot air balloon is just not free. Usually,
right.
It's
usually about $350 a person.
So we definitely thank these sponsors who have made this possible.
Correct.
Yes.
Thank you for that. And what is so amazing about this is that a veteran or handicapped individuals couldn't usually get into a hot air balloon because there's
Can't
that
climb over?
basket.
Yeah.
Correct. And this has a special seat in it that is like a park bench with no arms. They can be slid onto that seat. They can sit comfortably. They're seat belted in with a 5-point harness. And once they get up into the air, Captain Crystal then turns them 360 degrees so they can see all the way around them. And from what I hear, she is just a dynamite. She just loves life and she's happy to share with them. She's happy to do this for veterans. That's why she had this designed, why she does this. And the fact that we can give free rides to veterans and mobility challenged people for free is just wonderful. So our focus will be veterans and youth up to 18. But we will try and take anybody and everybody who comes out there. And also people that are not handicapped can make a donation to go on a ride. So it can hold one mom and 2 kids at the same time, or an individual up to 250 pounds. So we're pretty excited about
It looks
that.
great. It looks
Yeah.
really fun. So, Liz, you're the kind of person who makes sure that you're connected to your community. You know, why is that? What is it about you?
Well, I don't really know for sure. I remember before I started, I have a big page, a community page
Yes,
that I
on
started.
Facebook, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
on Facebook, 11 years ago.
What's it called?
My Town Walla Walla. And Linnell, the reason I call it that is because when you say, hey, did you see my town, Walla Walla? You're then talking about it being your town. I want you to claim it. I want people to come on that page and to claim that page and be proud of it.
Yes, you obviously love your community here in the Walla Walla Valley.
I do.
Definitely. And are connected with it. And we also, you were friends with someone who was just about known by everybody, Jessie, who we often saw around town.
Right.
Talk to me a little bit about that friendship.
Well, I had been friends with Jesse for over 30 years. I worked downtown quite a bit, and Jesse would pull up on his bike and he'd come running in to see what I had for him, whether it was candy or whether it was a flag, or he knew I took care of him.
Yes.
That was the thing. Jesse expected anyone and everyone to know him, and if you did, he had a certain place, what you did for him, whether you gave him batteries for his Walkman or batteries for his watch, or I replaced his flag on his bike, or I sewed things for him. And I always made sure that he drank plenty of water.
That's very good.
And he would say that to me all the time. He'd say, I know, water.
Yeah, and it's amazing how one person can be so well known, so recognized, and important to a community. I'm guessing he had no idea how important he was to our community.
You know, the funny thing is he didn't know how important he was, but he felt welcomed
Yes.
by everybody.
And
if he
loved,
walked
yeah.
in here, he just knew you were going to help him do something. He just knew that. And I love that about him, because when we walk into a room, oftentimes we're like, ooh, who do I talk to? Who do I see? And we feel uncomfortable. He didn't have that.
No.
And I think that's an amazing gift. He was a gift. That's what I loved about him. He was a gift to our community.
Yes. So tell me some of maybe 2 or 3 things that you really love about living here in our community, in our valley.
Knowing people when you go someplace.
Yes.
And, you know, just talking to people here, you know people that I knew at Mount Ellis Academy. That's where I came from. Wow. So when people mention people they work with here, I say, oh yeah, that was my little sister in Academy. I mean, you know so many people, and yes, there's a lot of strangers. Yes, we have a lot of people coming in new, but there are so many people. My husband says, I can't take you anywhere, Liz. And I say, that's true, but I can't take me anywhere. And I on this huge page, this Facebook page, there are too many people to know. But they know me, and they feel comfortable walking up to me and talking to me. And they've told me what a difference I've made, whether I've helped them, You know, one thing that I have not shied away from on my page is talking about anxiety, depression, suicide. And with having gone through the pandemic, it really made a difference in our world. And to know that they could come to me, and I'm not a counselor, I'm not a teacher, but I will definitely listen to them. And sometimes I think that's all you need is someone to listen and to be there.
Well, I think it is really great that you have embraced the community where you live so well, and that you're giving back in really fun and important ways. Let's swing back around to Spring Fling again. Just recapping, you know, what will be the fun things for people as they can participate in Spring Fling, whether it be this year or next year, whenever they can.
Well, we would love to have help.
Ah,
I would love
you're
if
doing this
people-
with a very small team, yes?
There are two of us, my husband and I, and so we would love to have people
You would
say,
take more help.
I would love to have more help. Even if someone said, hey, Liz, I could come help you do check-in for 4 hours, call me.
Yes.
Look me up on my town, Spring Fling, come see me.
Well, it's a great and fun time for everybody, and I just want to thank you for taking time to chat with us, because it's good to be reminded what a great place we live and the good things going on here.
That's true.
Thanks, Liz. Shawna and Liz are both committed to discovery, whether learning a new skill, finding ways to communicate gratitude, or offering opportunities. These incredible women fill our lives with new vistas. They have discovered a voyage of discovery without a change of scenery. Do you remember the old hymn, "Open my eyes that I may see glimpses of truth thou hast for me"? Written by Clara H. Scott in 1895, the words were inspired by Psalm 119. This beautiful hymn speaks to asking God to help us learn and discover new ways of being in the world. It asks God to keep us out of the daily rut and keep our eyes on Him, the most important adventure in life. So find an old vista and start looking with new eyes. Become an explorer of your everyday life and let boredom fade into your past.